Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's been a while. I haven't released videos in quite a while, and that's largely due to a few reasons. One, I kind of felt like I was rushing a lot of my content just to get it out, and I feel like, especially in my most recent videos, I feel like I kind of lost that drive, that passion for this hobby, and I wanted to take a little bit of a break, some creative break, if you will, just to kind of think about how I want to move this channel forward. Now, I know the channel hasn't been up for long, but I've actually been doing YouTube for many years now. I have a separate channel which is more dedicated to my passion of cars, and I wanted to do something a little bit more artistic and a little bit different with this channel. So today is partially a welcome back video for me, and two, we're actually going to be building out my work studio. And I've been wanting to do this for a while, but a lot of what was holding me back was due to the fact that I didn't have a spare room. The roommate that we had has now moved out, and I've decided to take over the room, and here we are. It's not a very big space, but there's just enough space here where I feel like I can design a really cool studio, and this is where I'll be doing all of my recording. This will be doing all of my keyboard builds. I'm also doing this to kind of create a semi-recording studio for myself. As you can see, this is not a super big room, and there is a big bed that kind of takes up a big part of the room, and unfortunately that is going to have to stay. My wife and I do want to also use this room as a secondary guest room, something that our guests can kind of stay in. That being said, I think I've figured out a good setup for what I plan here. So yeah, let's just get started. Okay, so that the build we're starting today, we're gonna be starting off with the desk, obviously. Now the desk that I chose is kind of a cheaper desk, and to be perfectly honest, this is probably the only thing I kind of regret cheaping out on. But this is the Huger, I don't really know how to pronounce it. It's the 63-inch computer desk, and the reason why I chose it, one is I did want a longer desk. There's going to be a lot of stuff on this desk, and I kind of really wanted to make sure that I could put everything on it. You know, it's a little wobbly, but to be perfectly honest, I did get this for only $89. Doesn't really break the bank, and I think it does look nice. I like the wood aesthetic that it comes with, and to be perfectly honest, that's kind of like the whole vibe that I was kind of going for, this dark wood walnut vibe. And the next big item on my list that we're gonna go with, chair that I decided to go with. Now, there's plenty of cheap, pretty decent chairs out there, but I did want something a little bit higher quality. Now this is the Razer Enki, and they have three versions, the X, the Enki, and the Pro. I just went with the middle tier. This was $450. It was on sale on Amazon, $50 off. And I like it. I think it's a really good chair, honestly, for the price. The construction's super solid. Now I am very used to my Secret Labs chair, and I think that's a really good chair. And I would say my only real complaint with the Enki is the fact that the seat cushion is not long enough. I'm a pretty tall guy, and it doesn't really, you know, stretch to the end of my knees. And so I can see that, like, maybe after quite a while of sitting in this chair, maybe I'll get a little bit of fatigue in the legs. But to be perfectly honest, other than that, good lumbar support. I actually really like the chair. I like the color. I like green. Yeah, that's the chair that we decided to go with. Starting to add some accessories to the desk, I really wanted a desk shelf. I've never actually had a desk shelf before, but I realized that I can actually add a lot of more stuff to my desk. And so I decided to spend a little bit of money, and I went with the Bololo Cockpit Setup Monitor Stand. It's a little bit pricey as it's all wood construction, and it comes in at around $220, which, to be perfectly honest, there's plenty of other wood stands for significantly cheaper, but the reason why I went with this is for the simple reason that they have a bunch of accessories that you can kind of attach to it. Some of the accessories that I did get are things like a headphone stand, a laptop stand, a tray mount which kind of mounts underneath the stand, and I also got an accessory holder. Now this thing I currently am not really using, but this is really good for if you have things like a Stream Deck, or you can even place like your iPhone there. It's pretty nice to just kind of like put things on there, especially if you need something within quick reach. I plan on using this in the future, but for now it's not really doing anything. To kind of like pair with that, I did get these catch-all trays from Amazon. Now Bololo themselves do sell these catch-all trays, but they're a lot more expensive. I believe just for one you're paying something close to like $80 or $60 or something like that, With the ones that I found on Amazon, they match the wood finish to my desk really, really nicely. They fit inside the large shelf that comes, or sorry, the large tray that comes on the shelf. And they were only $29, and it comes with like a pencil holder or, you know, something to kind of place your long accessories. And so I got 2 of them at $29 for a for a pair. I think honestly that's it's a really, really good deal. And yeah, I think they look really good, and the quality is there too. So I really didn't see the point in paying almost $60 for basically the same thing, and I got it for half. Now, for a speaker system that I did go with, I went with the Edifier speakers. Again, we were going with the wood theme here, and what I really like about these speakers is they're a pretty solid construction build. They have very little noise, which is I really, really like. You know, they're very well shielded. I don't get any sort of hum or noise or interference from the other electronics that I have going on in the room, and they sound pretty good too. Now, I probably could have put these on shelves. I'm still considering it. I might do something like that in the future, but as of right now, they're just sitting on the desk, and I realize that the sound isn't really pointed at my head, so I'm not getting the full audio experience. But so far, I think they actually sound pretty good, and we're just gonna keep them as is. And I found these on Amazon for $100. Sometimes they have sales and you can get them for a little bit cheaper, but they're gonna be around $100, and I think for $100, they're a pretty solid speaker. Now, of course, I went with a dual monitor setup. Now, these are just a pair of LG monitors that I bought off of a friend. They were, you know, he sold them to me very cheap. I think they were like $200 a monitor. They were pretty much brand new. He just decided he wanted something with more performance. Now, myself, this is my workstation. I'm not looking for the highest refresh rate or the highest resolution. These are 1440, which is really all that I need. I don't need 4K. I'm not editing in 4K. I'm not doing a lot of artistic stuff that requires 4K monitors. And they're in a standard refresh rate of like 1 millisecond, so really not that bad. You know, nice and cheap. They do come with G-Sync in case I do want to do a little bit of gaming, but again, I'm attaching my Mac to these monitors. I'm not going to be doing any gaming on my Mac. I'll show you guys my gaming setup in a little bit. I got something really cool. I got some cable management baskets. Now, these are pretty nice. They technically like not screw, but they clamp to your desk. Now, the desk that I got, right, and this is another complaint that I have, the bar on the other actually kind of gets in the way of the clamp. So instead, what I ended up doing is just taking some double-sided tape on one side of the basket, and then just taping it to the top side of my desk, and then the cockpit shelf just kind of goes on top of it, kind of holds it down. They hold, it's sturdy. I haven't had any movement at all, and I bought 2 of them. They're very, very cheap. The management baskets are only $28 each, and I have one on each side of the desk to just handle all the cable management that I have going on. Now, and then of course, I wanted to add a little bit of flair, something just to make this look nicer and more gamer, and make it all cool and gorgeous for you guys. And so I got 2 things from Govee. If you guys know about them, Govee, they do a lot of LED lights for rooms, and to enhance desk setups. And so I got both the Govee smart light bars. Those I've attached to the back of my monitors to kind of reflect the light against the walls. And then I also got the Govee RGB LED strip, which I have running across the bottom of my room, and that kind of gives some upwards light lift, and I think it looks really good. I've set the lights to kind of match each other, which is really, really nice. You can do it all through the app, and they're both Bluetooth, so I can control both of the accessories directly from my phone, which I think is really, really convenient. I don't need to use the controller. That way I'm not reaching down and like having to push buttons and all that. And I really like it, and I think so far it looks really good. Personally, I think this is probably the best desk setup I've ever done. Now granted, I don't really focus on desk setups too much, but I like this one a lot. And if you guys can notice behind me, I have a shelf set up. Now this shelf, I bought it off of Amazon. This was relatively cheap. This was $32, and it's one of those standing ladder shelves that you just kind of lean up against the wall. I have on here like my Quest Pro. I've got a bunch of keyboards, some switches, and really is just to kind of like add some decor to the room. I'll probably add some
you know, more lights or whatever to it just to kind of spruce it up a little bit. And finally, last but not least, we do have, I think it's the Quintus monitor light bar. Now, normally these go on top of monitors, but however, because I'll be doing keyboard builds on this channel and I need light for when I build, I have this right on the shelf, and it is angled perfectly so that it's shining light right on my workstation. And this is great. It illuminates both my keyboard if I'm typing there or whatever I'm currently working on in case if it gets dark or if I need a little bit more direct light. This thing's really, really nice. It comes with, you know, a few different light temperatures as well as light intensities, and I like it a lot. I think it looks really, really nice, and because of the way it's weighted, it stands on the desk really well. I have a little bit of 3M double-sided tape on the back of it just to make sure it stays in place, but for the most part it doesn't really move. I can turn it on and off really easily, and it's powered by USB, which I have plugged in directly to the computer. And I'm actually really excited to do some keyboard builds on my new workstation. And so that's basically it, you guys. That's my desk setup. It's probably my favorite desk setup so far, and I thought this was a really good way to kind of re-kick off the channel. I've been really wanting to get back into making keyboards and creating content for you guys. I've been seeing some new subscribers to the channel recently, and so thank you very much, you guys. I appreciate it a lot. Hopefully you guys stick around so you'll see some more content. We've got some keyboards to build. I mean, we have a lot of stuff to do that I kind of had saved up over the course of this year that I haven't done yet. So stay tuned for that. And we have some new keyboards coming in the future as well, which it's going to be exciting. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys enjoyed the desk build. You'll be seeing more of this in the future. And yeah, catch you guys on the next one.